Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 2 of Club 6 of the MyCareer save here on FM24. My name is Stu, thank you for joining me in today's video where we're going to be playing 2 Serie A games. I have to think about the league then. I'm still wanting to say the Bundesliga. And before that, I still want to say the Premier League. But we're going to be playing against AC Monza, who are bottom of the table. But then we're going to be having a derby game against second in the table, ATALANTA. That one promises to be a little bit more feisty. So, since you were last with us, how have we been doing in the save? It has been as good as it can possibly be. 100% record, no dropped points, only conceded 2 goals in total, 1 against Roma in the second game of the season, 1 against Juventus in the 5th game of the season, not to count then. So it's been really, really good. We've been smashing teams by more than 1 goal for the most part. And even when we've had the wild 1-0, it's been fairly comfortable. So I've been really happy with things. Goal scorers, we've had plenty. We're not the best at goal scoring, but the second best. The only thing we haven't really got is an out-and-out goal scorer. Zilly's chipped in with a few. We've had the new guy chip in with a few, Charles, but only a few. Simini had that really good game to begin with. He's kind of settled back into being a very good winger, but not a world beater like he looked in that game. So it's interesting. We are very much a team that has excellent players in, but goal-wise, we have not got one out-and-out super goal scorer, an elusive, for example. But it is what it is, so I'm not too upset about it. Now, transfer-wise, I don't think we made no more transfers. Literally, the squad that you saw in the first game of the season is the squad that we have got. However, we've spent a lot of money. It is worth bearing in mind. Sales-wise, we didn't really make any major sales other than a couple of players who don't really mean anything. Andre Rodriguez, Luis Eduardo. Rodriguez was 2.5 million. Luis Eduardo was 3.1. You can't see because my big head's in the way, but that's what it was. So, you know, you just have to take my word for it. But yeah, everything's been going really well. So today we're going to see whether we can continue that. I'm not going to stress too much about showing you the league phase of the Europa League unless it's a really interesting game, because in the nicest way it's the Europa League. It's not what the save is here for. So we're just going to try and power on with the league. So this is the 11 that we're going to be using for the first game of today's video. It is going to be Urbing in goal, Trigot, Sander, Laskowski and Urbano in defence, Verlaine and Marcotta in the midfield with Samini, Zilly and Espinoza supporting Charles up front. Zilly is basically rotation attacking midfielder, rotation striker. He's back up in both. And so far, he's probably had a better start than Charles, to the point where he's probably going to end up being first choice striker. Charles is definitely a player who, okay, he doesn't like a big game. We knew that when we signed him, but he's definitely got some potential. We've only spent £36 million on him, and he's worth more than that. So I won't lie to you. I'm not against selling him in January or next season if we get to do a second season. I'm not against doing that because, in all seriousness, he's not done very well so far. Only the 2 goals. Zilly has been in and out of the team, and he scored just as many. So it is what it is. But let's get into the game and let's see what we can do. And while we're getting into the game, if you are looking forward to see whether we can continue our unbeaten start to the season, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content coming forward in the future, particularly when we move on to FM26, or when I see whether my computer can actually handle FM26. That's probably more of the question. Right. AC Monza, we're at their place. They have a new manager, but they're in rotten form. We should be battering them. Whether we do or not is another matter. We should be battering them. So let's see whether we can do exactly that. But we are absolutely bossing the league at the moment. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. This team is playing probably the best out of the pack at Simini. Turned up for the cameras again. Okay, there's a bit of a deflection there, and Trigos gets the assist, but Samini goes and makes it 1-0 in the 3rd minute. It's almost like, okay, we've added players to it, but this is probably the best out-the-packet team that we've had so far. Obviously, we had to put a lot of transfer work into Wolves and be quite smart with the moves that we made. Arsenal, we spent big. We bought some players in, some worked, some didn't. They did have a good base to begin with. This kind of feels like how we had a good base at Arsenal and we just kind of did what we could to add to it. I tell you what, Marcotta, what a saving header that was there. Marcotta might end up being a player we tried to sign permanently from Arsenal. I really did like him at Arsenal when he kind of jumped into the team. It wasn't all the time, but he was very good. But yeah, my main point there was that we look really, really good already, and I'm really happy with the way that we're playing. The only thing I don't like is our goal scoring isn't completely consistent in terms of who scores the goals, other than Samini. I mean, it might just be Samini. He might be our Mohamed Salah. He very well might be. Scored on his recent international break. This is the first game back from the international break. The weird long one that you get in September, which I don't know whether that everyone has that on their FM, but I have a really long international break no matter what league I'm in the end of September into October. It is ridiculous. But it is 2-0. Samini gets his second of the game. Maybe he just likes to show up for the camera. I don't know. But he is absolutely bossing it. Varane with the assist. Varane has been linked with a big money move to Manchester City for £100 million. I've slapped £150 million price tag on him to deter, but also to say I'd accept that, because I would accept that amount. I don't really want to lose him because he has been a very good midfielder for us so far this season. So, you know, we'll wait and see what happens with that. Good first half so far, though. We are dominating. They've just had the one shot. We've scored 2 goals. They're getting a bit of momentum here and there, but we seem to be cutting it off every now and then as well. But we keep getting balls in the dangerous area, in their dangerous area. Balls in the dangerous area. That sounds like something not football. Right, ball to Espinoza. Espinoza keeping it in, goes back to Marcotta. Bit of an unusual choice into Varane, who's gone for a worldie. Can you imagine if he'd stood that top bins? I'd have been out of this chair. Well, I might have been. I don't know. I'm a little bit lazy. Still only the 2, though. I mean, 2-0's fine. I'm not going to stress too much about not scoring too many goals. We are away from home after all. The main thing is getting those 3 points. Laskowski now into Espinoza. Espinoza to Zilli. Zilli's made it 3. Alessio Zilli playing in the attacking midfield spot, which is not the spot that I was intending to originally use him in. He's been fantastic. Taquito has barely got into the team. I will say that right now. That is probably a failing on my part, but it's kind of at the point where I'm just willing to let him go in January and reinvest that money as well as the money we've already got into a superstar attacking midfielder who can one day kind of take the mantle of Arda Güler, who he's only not starting today, Güler, because I'm resting him. That is literally the only reason. Right, 3-0 up. Really happy with that as a first half. I'm going to make some changes, though. Change number 1 is I'm going to take Marcotta off. Not because he's having a bad game, but I want to get Tenas back on. He's had an injury, so let's get him and Varane back playing together well. And then, don't know if I want to make another change. Niyar and Cordoba do need a bit of match sharpness, as do Campanella and Taquita. So we might hold off on the changes until later in the game where we feel more confident about taking them off. Samini did pick up a little knock, but he's on a hat-trick. I ain't taking him off until he scores a hat-trick or until he's basically dying. So let's get into the second half and let's see whether we can get closer to that. But textbook start from us so far. And a little 3-0. I would like a clean sheet, which means now I've said that, we're not going to have a clean sheet anymore. I just know it. Right, corner to Monza. In fact, no, it's a throw into Monza. Right by the corner flag there. Launching it into the box. Sander clears it only as far as their player Sia. Sia into Kamenovic. Kamenovic into Sia. This has got a goal written all over it. As soon as I said I wanted a clean sheet, there it is. Big, to be fair, he's been getting a lot of clean sheets, so I'm not too unhappy with the fact that he's conceded a goal. I am unhappy about it. I'm just not that unhappy about it. It's fine. We go again. We go again. Let's go and get another goal. Just make me feel a bit better. That'd be lovely. I am tempted to crank it up to attacking, just so we can show them a little bit who's boss. Right, Sander's not had the best of games today. I think it's the first start or second start that Sander will have had. He's not started many with us, but he is literally just in as a rotation option. Right, Samini. Samini. He's not looked average in the last few games, but since we started the season, he's looked all right. And then he goes and takes the ball from the halfway line, runs down the middle of the pitch, and the goalkeeper can't even do anything about it. And it's 4-1. Samini has his hat-trick. It's some player that we've signed now. It really is. Now, I am going to take him off just to preserve him. Gonçalves, who himself has had a good start to the season as well, he can come on. I'd like a bit from Charles. Charles is worrying me a little bit here because we're not seeing anything from him at the moment. Right. Flamarion is going to come on. Flamarion Najar, he's going to come on. I might rest Zilli as well. We'll bring on Arda Güler. So I've already broken the players that I was going to bring on. Never mind, it is what it is. But we'll bring Gula on for a little bit of first team action after. He had a very good international break as well, actually. So yeah, let's bring him on. I thought I was foul for a second then, but no, it is a corner, and it is going to be out of a highlight. We're not going to see it. Never mind. No, it is what it is. It is what it is. Utter domination from us. They are starting to come back in this second half a little bit, but we're 4-1 up. All hope is gone. Let's be completely real about it. And we have a corner, and it is going to be Gonçalves to take. Go for the short option. No, whips it in. Looking for the header. Sander doesn't quite find him. Laskowski's there. He's been really good since we've signed him. We knew he was good. Espinoza. There we go. Espinoza's just been silently getting along with his work this season, and he has been utterly brilliant. He really has. Laskowski, we knew he was good at Arsenal. He just wasn't the finished product. And then he's had another season under his belt since we've left, where he has grown into a proper defender. And he looks really, really competent at the back. Standard's actually ended up having a good game today. He's on a 7.2, so I take back some of my comments about him, not all of them. Take back some of them. Right, 5-1. We've started immediately with a highlight from kickoff, which usually means something's going to happen. What's happened is we've nicked the ball. Right, Arda Güler with the ball to Sander. Sander out to Chigos. Chigos into Gonçalves. Gonçalves. Going to just try and beat everyone. He's beating everyone here. He's beating Kamenovic. Whipped in. Looking for Espinoza and Charles. No one there. Charles really probably should have made the keeper work for that. Great work from Gonçalves, other than the cross. The cross was the only bit that he let us down with there. It's poor from Trigos, actually, that header. Not very good. I'm not very happy about that. Villain has given away a penalty. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. But Villain didn't need to go all in like that. But he did, and he's probably given away a penalty here. No, he hasn't. Oh, that shows what I know. Shows what I know. And that's probably going to be either a throw-in or a free kick. Right, final change. I'm going to leave Charles on because he's getting closer. Like, he's on a 6.9. He's not having a bad game, but, you know, it's not quite what we wanted to see, really, is it? It is a shame. It is a shame. Right, Espinoza coming off for... I'll bring Takita on. He doesn't really play as a winger in the kind of plans that we had, but I'll put him as an inside forward because he is a striker. So I'll bring him on as that. Final 6 minutes or so. Let's see whether he can get a goal or at least have some impact on the game. Probably not because we don't have much time left. 3 minutes of added time. I think that's going to be that, to be honest. I'm quite content for it to be that. Very content indeed. There it is. That is that. Full time, 5-1. Job's a good one. Job is a good one. And another Samini hat-trick. He scored 2 hat-tricks this season. One against, I think it was Napoli, wasn't it, first game of the season? And one against the bottom table in the league as well. I mean... fabulous. And there, that's what I'm on about. On kind of tabs for Villain from Manchester City. On's data flick looking at him as an option. You can see we put the 150 million price tag on. They want him for 100. I'd meet in the middle. Now, he's desperate to make the move happen, but they're not making the offer just yet. They may wait until January, but by that time, they might have found someone else. So, it is interesting. Right, Atalanta is next. That's the main reason we've come back now, because I want to play that game, because it is, if we look at the club info, it is classed as the Lombardo Derby. So, it was a bit rude not to play that one. So, give me a minute. I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to see how we do on Derby Day. Back for the game against Atalanta, and just a reminder, they are currently occupying second place. They're 5 points behind us, having lost and drawn one game, while, of course, we've won everything. In terms of goals for and goals against, we are now the best for goals for and goals against in the league. We are flying. We are absolutely flying. AC Milan, where are they? Down in 7th. Juventus, down in 14th. We joined at the right time. Everyone's having an absolute mare as what you compared them to, what you compare to what they would normally be having. They're having an absolute shocking season. So, yeah, maybe this is just set up for us. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into the game. It is going to be... There's actually going to be a change to this. I haven't actually done anything with the starting 11. I probably should do that. Let me just quickly sweep those around. I'm a little bit tired. I don't know if you can tell. My words are all over the place just a little bit. I'm going to swap a few people around just to make sure we've got our best 11 out there as possible. Well, the best one that we can put out there anyway, because Tenas isn't quite fully ready to go back into the starting 11. So I think that's probably going to be the team that we're going to go with. It is going to be Urbing in goal, Trigos, Laskowski, Kabasi and Ubano in defence. Valena and Marcotta will continue as the midfield pairing, and Samini, Ardagula and Espinoza will support Zilli up front. I do just want to mention Andre Silva. Look at the wage. The wage is a result of a contract that he signed before I got here, where if he got so many... I think it's international appearances or league appearances. I don't know which one. I can't remember. His wage would go up to that. I can't remember what it was before, but my heart sank because so much. We had like £300,000 of the wage budget. It's now 100 and something. It's a massive jump up for a player who's not really worth it. You know, he's not an elite centre back. He's a continental reputation centre back. You know, he's just called a centre back in media description. But he's tall, so, you know, there is that. I'm saying all of this negatively against him. I'm going to start him because, you know, why not? Kabasi is going to stay on the bench. A good bit of experience to have there from his time at Barcelona, but we're going to go with those two. Silva was obviously already here when we signed, so let's let him get out there. But that is the 11. Let's get into the game against Atalanta. The derby that I think the most kind of general football fans outside of Italy maybe don't think about. You just know the big one, the Milan derby, but no one ever really thinks about this one. Or at least I don't really hear it talked about. I didn't even know necessarily. I may have had it tucked away in my brain somewhere, but I didn't necessarily know that there was a big rivalry between these two teams. That might just be football ignorance from me. I'm fairly confident it will be that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I didn't know. So it's quite exciting to have a game like this that we get to get into and experience it for the first time, I guess. So we have played Atalanta in the save already in Europe against some of our teams, Wolves and Arsenal, I'm sure Bayern Munich. I know this because I recognise some of the players. In particular, I'm pretty sure Shelderup we played against. Now, he could have moved clubs. I could be wrong on that, but I'm fairly confident that we have played them at least once, possibly even twice. Right, here we go. Starting with the highlights. Samini running down that right wing as he is starting to really get good at doing into Verlaine. Tell you what, Verlaine, considering he's a defensive player who has no ability when it comes to getting forward but likes to get forward, he doesn't have come close with some of those shots. He really does. Right, it's whipped in. Silva was there. Ends up coming to Samini. Samini back to Gula. Urbano ends up being a free kick. Gula ended up straying offside, which is a bit of a risk going back to the corner taker, but I'm happy to take it and see what happens. Right, Zilli. Poor ball from him, but Trigos wins the ball back. Samini now. That superstar of a right winger. Just looking to dance through everyone. He did dance through everyone. And Espinoza can't quite get the rebound on. Maybe Samini tried to do a bit too much there. Maybe he should have tried to play one of his teammates in. Right, ball to Ardagula. Into Verlaine. Verlaine now running forward. I tell you what, he loves to get forward. Into Marcotta. Very much doesn't like to get forward. Espinoza doesn't really get to anyone. And now Atalanta have a chance to counter-attack. Not really doing it quickly. They're doing some slow build up here so far down their right-hand side, our left. Scalvini. Did try and sign Scalvini in the transfer window. The first approach, he rejected me because of his links to Atalanta. The second time he would have come, but there was a Saudi club in for him, so he wanted a lot of money that I was not prepared to pay him. I thought he would have been a good centre-back option as well as a good defensive midfield as well. We nearly went 1-0 down then. We need to not be as wasteful as we have been with our chances so far. Right. Free kick. We go out wide to Trigos. I've just realised I've not changed my distribution. I normally have both centre-backs and full-backs ticked, and then just before the game I change one of them depending on whether they play with wingers and or two strikers. If it's one striker, I'll go to centre-backs. If it's wingers, then I'll go to centre-backs. If it's two strikers, I'll go to full-backs. And I've not done that, so we're just distributing to everyone at the moment. But it doesn't seem to have hurt our chances so far. Gula was determined there, and so was Verlaine. Their goal is leading a charmed life at the moment. It's got me a little bit worried. A little bit worried because we all know you have loads of chances go missing like that. And that one as well, even though it wasn't very close. Like it was, we got on the end of it in the corner. It ended up just going through no one after the header was connected. Header had connected. Again, you can tell I'm tired, can't you? We all know what happens when you miss this many chances. At some point, it comes back to bite you, and you concede a goal, and you lose despite the fact that you've outperformed the opponent. Espinoza, he's got different ideas. And again, I've got to say, he's just been going about his work. He's been on a 6.5 in this game, and he's just completely turned it around with that goal. And all of a sudden, it's 1-0. Marcotta with the header there. ends up coming to Espinoza here, into Villain. Villain to Espinoza. Villain not known for his passing. Not known for... I don't even know who he is at all, to be honest with you. I've met him in training and that's it. But he's not known for his passing, but he's just gone and got an assist and put us 1-0 ahead in the derby. Very, very happy about that. Let's go and get a second just to settle things up. We've been dominant again. It's kind of been a bit of a running trend is that we've dominated both in possession as well as attempts. A lot of different things. I thought that was going to be a penalty. Espinoza gone backwards. I'm not really happy about that. Right, Erbig, get rid, sir. Looking for Zilli. Can't quite get it to Zilli, but Scalvini's going to go back to the goalkeeper and they're going to build again. We're going to try and press them a little bit here. No, we're letting them pass them around in the middle. We want to really be interrupting. Semini, great work, but he's lost the ball there as well. He's getting pressed there too. We are doing a reasonable job at pressing, but there were moments of Bayern Munich where our pressing was on point. It was sensational. We're not quite there with Inter yet. Our general play at Inter feels better though. Marcotta with the interception there. And here we come again. Espinoza looking to whip the ball in, looking for Semini at the far post. And there is our boy, Antonello Semini. It might be offside. It better not be. I want another goal for Semini because he is genuinely looking like the best player in this league. Whether he's that star rating wise or not, I don't know. But he is looking like the best player in this league. And it is given. And it is 2-0. And it's our wingers running the show. Espinoza floats it in. Semini, not necessarily the tallest, not necessarily the best in the air. But he's got that little bit of magic about him. And he just puts it home and makes it 2-0 in front of roaring fans at the San Siro. Thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. Excellent. And I'd like a third. It goes without saying, I would very much like a third. If we can get that sorted now, boys, that'd be delightful. We are going to get this season done, definitely. I already know my thoughts. We want to have one season with this team in the Champions League. I don't know how likely it is that we're going to be able to achieve that. I'm going to do my best to make us achieve that effectively. The minimum is that we want to win as much as we can this season. And then if we can... Trigos has got a goal as well. Excellent. Espinoza with an assist as well. If we can get this season done and just win everything, then I'll be sort of happy. But I do want one season in the Champions League with this lot, because this lot have been sensational so far. Absolutely fabulous. I've really enjoyed using them. Dominate teams. We just bully them, get the ball, run up the other end and score. 3 different goal scorers today as well, which is always a good thing to see. Very, very happy. I was a little bit unsure about the Bayern move when I realised that we weren't in the Champions League. But the more I've thought about it, the more I'm still happy about it. Bayern felt, I don't know, not too big. We did well at Bayern, but the problem is Bayern are a bigger club than Inter, but they couldn't give as much for a transfer budget than Inter did. Inter gave us 100 million to 200 million nearly. Bayern gave me 30. So one of those clubs clearly has a bit more ambition than the other in the game. I'm not saying that in real life. I want to just cry. I don't want to upset any fans out there of either club. But in this game, it really feels like the game is like Bayern Munich don't have that much ambition anymore because they've been winning all the time. Whereas Inter are like, we've won it twice in the last 10 years. We want more than that. Well, let's see whether we can start them off on the right path with that. Second half, we're not making any changes. No need to make any changes. Everything is exactly as it should be. Sharderup has gone off injured for them as well. He is a very, very good player in this game. So I'm very happy to see the back of him. I thought Silva had got a goal there. He needs to earn that wage. Didn't earn it there. He's still having a decent game though, but when that came through, I wish the camera was on my face. I really do, because it would have been a picture. Who gives a player who's 3 stars that contract and that clause in that contract? It's utterly ridiculous. By the way, Trigos did really well to keep up with Mulder there. Mulder was trying to turn him all kind of ways, but Trigos kept up with him and ended up getting the better of him. Semini gives the ball away. Can't be perfect all the time. I'll let him off. Right, we head the ball back, but we managed to give it away as well. And Abbott is in here. It might be a goal here for Atalanta. It is Atalanta 1 into 3. So just the 1 goal back. 2 games in a row we've conceded goals. We've conceded as many goals in these 2 games as we've conceded in the entire season. I'm not too mad about it, but I'd have liked at least 1 clean sheet in this episode. But I think the second I said it in the last game, it was completely jinxed. So it is what it is. We're going to start making a few changes. Laskowski actually hasn't had a good game. I said how solid he was, and he's not been today. So Kabasi is going to come on. I'm going to bring Tenas on as well for Marcotta. Disappointing one from Gula. Bit of a disappointing one from him. So I'm gonna drop Dilly down, and I'm gonna bring Charles on. We're already 3 goals to 1 up, so I'm hoping that Charles will come on and just take it easy. Is kind of what I'm hoping. We don't need him to go crazy. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to put any pressure on himself. Just go out there and play some football. And I'm perfectly happy with what he can do if he does that. But this is making me kind of look at Zilly and go, you are definitely an attacking midfielder. Which is great, other than the fact that Gula is such a good attacking midfielder that we can't really drop him from the squad. He's also the captain, so that doesn't really help either. Right, goal kick. Atalanta with possession. They're going to be launching it up the pitch to try and get something from us for a second goal. It's flicked on. Abbott's broken free. Our defence has been caught napping there, but he's put it wide. Wow. We let him come through there. We switched off massively. It's a good job we're 3-1 up. Otherwise, if that was 0-0 and we'd let that happen, I'd be absolutely livid. Got a final substitution. I've not made it, by the way. Final substitution is going to be one of the tired boys. Let's take Urbano off for Najar. Or Najar or Flammarion. Bold from Evie, don't you know? Right. Final substitution made. Ball to Simini. Simini. Couldn't say that for the life of me then. Espinosa now. Running forward. Is he going to get the ball to Charles? He is going to get the ball to Charles. Charles with the finish. Ends up winning a corner. Good work from Charles to win the corner. But again, this is technically a big game. It is a derby. So I will let him off a little bit. Antonin makes a decent save there. They are second in the table, remember, Atalanta. So this is the derby, but it's also top of the table business. So they're not a terrible team. We have to remember that. Right, Espinosa gets it back to Tenas. Tenas still recovering from his injury. It's a decent cross from him, actually. It ends up coming out to Samini here. Into Trigos, into Verlaine. Looking for Charles, can't quite find him. And now, that's well offside. Well offside. Unless, was he in? He must have been in. He must have been in our half. He must have been in our half. I swear that was offside, but he must have been in our half. Rewind that and let me know. Because I'm not doing it. Rewind that and let me know whether it was offside. Right. We are struggling to keep them at bay here. They have started to wake up and remember that they're second in the table. But the ball does go over. I mean, we still dominated them. We're still going to win the game. 3-1 is absolutely fine for a game against top of the table opposition, especially when it's a derby. A few performances now I'd like to have seen get a bit better. Gula in particular, very disappointed. Laskowski as well, not great. Strikers, Charles and Zilly didn't really show up. We do need that proper out-and-out goal scorer. And Charles, we took a punt on him because he was cheap. I think the resale value on him is going to be quite high, and I think we're going to be exploring that next season. If we can win the league and also win the Europa League and get ourselves into the Champions League, he might be part of the make weight for Alex Eve to come in. Because I am still convinced that we're going to be able to get him. Or whether we will or not is another matter, but that's what I'm going to try and do. Right, we will be back. It's going to be around November, December time. We're going to play through a bunch of football. Maybe PSV. That could be quite fun. Yeah? Do we have any other... Who else have we got on the list? So, AC Milan, Juventus, Atalanta, Juventus, AC Milan, Napoli, Roma. I don't think we've got any of those teams coming up because we've already played most of them. So, maybe we come back for Lazio, PSV. And then we come back for here. I mean, we're going a bit ahead of ourselves here, but we'll come back around there in January at the beginning of the transfer window. So, yeah, Lazio, PSV, that's when we'll be back. And hopefully, we can win both of those and carry on this wonderful run that we're having both in the league and also in the Europa League, where we're currently in third, just on goal difference, because that's just how we roll. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on there and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content coming in the future. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.